that can be done very, very quickly because you obviously have to skip through Star World to do that. But we're skipping the Star World, so no shortcut today.
Yep, skipping it completely. And it looks like they're taking off. Looks like they're nice and tied up right now.
Yeah, it's a nice tie. We're exactly the same pace right now. We'll probably get that synced up a little bit in just a moment here. So while that is being done, we're in Yoshi's Island 2, the first stage, I should say, of the run. Star coins obviously give 1-ups in the game. The runners won't go out of the way to get the star coins, so you probably won't see that very often, as many of them are in pipes out of the way or something like that. So we won't see those really come into play. They are picking them up just for the sake of they're good for. They show good places to jump in some cases too, depending where you go. Runners will not be trying to hit the tape at the end of the level because that gives bonus stars, and if you get 100 of those, you get stuck in one of those brutal awful mini games. We don't want that.
We got a 361 from Stiverson, which is a nice little trick to happen every now and then in YI2. And they're going down the infamous YI3 that has caused a lot of heartache over the tournament. It's one of those levels that shouldn't really give people issues, but every now and then you just miss one of those jumps, especially in a race format where you just gotta take it and continue on. It can really ruin your day. What we're looking for is like 259 on the timer, potential 258s.
I see a 258, couple 258s, couple 259s, so very well done levels for these runners. I know this level casually was daunting for me when I first played it long time ago, so it's one of those levels that's just satisfying to see run so fast.
Yeah, absolutely. This should be a good and even World 1 for these guys. I think we might start seeing a breakaway come the end of Iggy cutscene. Alright, it doesn't look like we had anyone really take that shell jump, finishing 275 across the board as they go into Iggy's Castle.
Yep. Iggy's Castle, the first of the 7 fortresses in the game. And this is where the Yoshi eggs are stored and held by the Koopa kids.
Now they stay small so they can make that first jump underneath the Koopa. From there on out, you'll see them picking up power-ups and continuing on with those. It's a big misconception, especially new runners, to think that maybe smaller Mario is faster, but we mostly just stay small in World 1 to just make it under that first Koopa in Iggy's Castle. They go through the auto-scroller. You can see lots of them pick up the flower. Looks like all of them are going for the flower kill on Iggy.
They got rid of the mushroom, interestingly enough. Or at least Stiverson did that.
Stiv definitely did.
Very nice kill on Iggy by all the runners. Looks like they all got on the first cycle. Very well done.
Did really good. And I think just time-wise, we should see Stiv pull a little bit of head because he got the 361, he got his 259, and he got the 241 coming out of Iggy.
That's right. Barnow had a 238, and the other two runners had a 240. So that's going to give Stiverson a little bit of a lead coming out of the first world.
But anyone can take this back as we go into DP1. This level is highly dependent on your flight speed. And we might be able to see a difference between Stiverson and the other runners if he takes a slower flight speed through DP1.
We're going to find out right now as we're about to get the first cape, and let's see how quickly he got that sky very quick. That's very nicely done. I think he's going to maintain a little bit of a lead here. Seems to be going really fast.
Rem's having a little bit of an issue getting up in the sky, taking a backup cape with him. Maybe he plans on losing that cape somewhere in DS1 or Morton.
Possible he's planning that.
Especially in a race format, it's good. It's better safe than sorry. There's lots of times you will lose your power up, and it can cost you a lot of time. So as they go through DS1 here, you're going to see a lot of them go up into the dry room and take this shell. This is another point of contention that we've seen where people have run into the shell on accident, losing their cape. We've got good shell grabs from people. Barn Owl taking it a little high. Ooh, Rims just barely getting that shell out.
Severson is going very clean so far. He's playing this level very, very well. This is also one of those cases. This is also the first actual diversions in the routes, I should point out, in the 11-star and the this route that we're doing. This is actually the main divergence because normally you would go to the pipe and do the special ghost house. You just go straight to Ghost House 2. You go through the game normally because you can't use the Star World.
Yep, that's right. They're going to skip that key and just go straight for the tape. This is one of the quicker levels. It's the donut house here. You're just going to fly right up into the door and get out. Stiv slowly commanding his lead with Milani right behind him. But we're going to have a few levels coming up here where flight speed's going to be dependent. Stiv is going to have to stay on his game and manipulate his flight speed to get the highest value if he wants to keep his lead.
And he seems to be going at a good clip, so he's still maintaining that lead from what I can tell here. Unless something unfortunate happens, he's going to still be leading after this level. 2-4, I believe, is another level where you can pretty much just cape through it. So we're going to see what happens when we get to Morton's Castle here, as that's going to be a very technical climb.
Yeah, and a big difference you'll see in the next level that Stiv and Milani are going into currently is they're not going to be grabbing the Yoshi that you would normally see in all castles. So they're able to take this next level even safer without the need to come down whatsoever. They're just going to fly through it once again.
Yeah.
It's a big reason why this category is a big thing with all castles existing as well, is it leaves out the inside of Vanilla Dome, which in all castles is a very trick-heavy split. This route instead decides to go over the Vanilla Dome, skipping Lemmy's castle.
Poor Wendy, no one ever gives her love.
Alright, let's see how Stiv handles Morton Fly.
First try, very nice. Looks like Milani's having a little more difficulty with it. So is Barn Owl.
Yep, that first jump can be a stickler.
Milani gets up there and Barn Owl is in there now. Rems is not getting it first try. Oh, he did get it. I think that was first try, if I'm not mistaken. So he's made up a little time there.
Very nice. Stiv lost a little tiny bit of flight going up Morton, but not enough for anyone to take that lead from him. So he used Fire Flower through Morton, as I'm sure you will also see Milani and Barn Owl do, switching at the last moment so that they can hit him.
Sorry, Barn Owl did not get a spring, so he had to wait for the block to come out. He lost a little time there as well.
Yeah, sometimes you can be put out of phase in a weird moment if you don't get your flight down. You need to use that spring to get up as opposed to getting up later in the level. So you find yourself a lot of the time at the top of Morton with no spring, just sitting on your thumb waiting for that platform to come out.
And all runners are now done Morton's Castle. Rem still has to go through the celebration scene. Stiverson has done his celebration scene. The other runners are still in it. And Stiverson begins Vanilla Dome 1. And on a really good pace in this run so far today.
All right, and Stiv is already out. He got good flight up there. We saw a few racers yesterday who weren't able to make the distance all the way up to the key in VD1. We're going to see Milani's attempt coming shortly. And if you don't make that flight, it can be a little sketchy getting back up.
Yeah, so that's a tough place to climb up. Usually, I think the game expects you to have either especially to have some kind of cape to obviously hit the block, which they do. They could do that, but it's very sketchy to do the flight. Otherwise, it costs time to do it the other way.
Oh, very much so. but it didn't give Milani or Barnell any sort of issues. Rams, unfortunately, did not get his flight up there, so he's having to take that backup route to get the speed he needs to climb.
Barnell had to wait for the Koopa cycle to come back to the right, so cost a little time there as well. Stiverson now going through Yoshi's Island 2. I used to love this level to refuel my lives when I was playing casually.
All right, and we've got a few flyover levels here. This could be a chance to close the gap for Milani or a chance for Stiverson to pull ahead even more.
Okay, Stiverson entering Vanilla, or I should say Vanilla Secret 3. And the dino level. Fun fact that in Japan, they actually were able to eat the dinosaurs. In North America, they actually disabled that. So, one of the little differences between the different versions here.
Yeah, in the Japanese version, those little dolphins are good Yoshi food. All right, Stiv is keeping his lead. We've had the same standings since Iggy's Castle. No major hiccups in anyone's run yet. They've got to be feeling good about the run so far. This is another big difference between the All Castles and no Star World levels, is you finally get to see this underwater fort.
It feels so slow compared to the other levels, but
yeah, absolutely. But at least we get to see something above Vanilla Dome that's not a flyover level.
Yep.
All right, and Rem's finishing up his dolphin level. He'll be meeting everyone in the fortress.
I did not know you could despawn that thwomp there. Interesting.
Yeah, all these fortresses like these with heavy sprite counts, it's you'll see weird despawns every now and then. A lot of them can be used to your advantage if you know what you're doing. We'll see some of that in the Sunken Ghost ship for sure. Ooh, Rem's scaring me, almost taking damage on those spikes, but pulling up at the last second. Alani having to take his Resner fight a little safer than Stiv had to take his.
Oh, Rems lost his cape. He has to wait for the other one to drop down. Good thing he had that safety.
Yep, he knew he needed that safety, and he made the right decision grabbing it when he did. He would have lost significantly more time if he had to go back into levels to grab a different cape.
Had a little more trouble with the spikes as well, so lost quite a bit of time on this level in that little area alone. He is last of our 4 runners right now, so he is in that position right now. We'll see what happens in the later levels if he has better runs at the later levels and can make up that time.
Yep, there's still a lot of Mario left, so there could be a change up in the standings at any point. Hopefully we don't see a change up in this level, because if you happen to accidentally die in this level, you have wasted about a minute of your time.
And we do see one of the technical things that can be done in this level, Stiverson taking advantage of the 8 flying Koopas and getting a couple 1-ups out of them. So just in case something really bad happens, at least he has some extra lives now. Looks like Milani's just using the flying route, not even bothering with the Koopas there. He's just trying to stay airborne through the entire level.
As long as you can tap left, it's not the worst, but that is a very scary stretch.
It is.
I don't see anyone grabbing shells. I guess we're not going to see any swag for the turn blocks this time. I think Seathorn might have scared everyone else off of doing that from yesterday. Okay, he is on. I was worried he wasn't going to make it to that wooden platform. He dropped pretty far. I thought maybe he was going to be a tile off, but Stiverson made it just fine going down the pipe to get out of the level.
And he does hit the tape, so that's what you normally see when you're playing casually. You want to get those stars to get the bonus room, but I'll assume that was an accidental hit. He probably didn't want to do that.
Yep, they're not exactly helpful in a speed run. All right, Ram's trying to keep his flight up. Okay, he's safely on the ground. All right, Milani right behind Stiv right now, about to exit that level. He's not going to let Stiv go without a fight. And Barnow is about equal distance behind Milani.
And we are entering Ludwig's castle. Ludwig, the I guess you can say the classical composer of the Koopas.
Yes, he was the artsy child.
There's always one.
All right, let's see how Stiv's room 2 goes. This okay, so he takes flower strat.
I like that because in this room I used to always lose my cape because I would always fly up into the spikes. So I actually like the strat of chain the flower on.
Yeah, especially in a race format, it's good, and you already have the flower going into room 3. You don't necessarily need cape. So that's where you see lots of runners differ. Milani, of course, going for the cape fly strat currently.
Very well done room by Stiverson, already on Ludwig at 250. And could be looking at, oh, he got the fireballs in. Very, very well done.
Yep,
That's a 241.
he is out.
That's a 241.
He is out. We're not going to be able, unless something happens, we're not going to be able to see Rims do the fireball kill on Ludwig like you're about to see Milani do. 2 fireballs and a jump is all you need on the Koopa Kids except Lemmy and Wendy. He's going to have to use the cape.
Milani also gets a 241. Barn Owl is a little behind that pace, unfortunately. And as you know, Rems probably will not be. So Milani, almost identical level 4, or Castle 4. Very well done by both Stiverson and Milani.
All right, and Barn Owl is out himself. We're going to see that gap widen a little bit between Milani and Barn Owl. But Milani is just staying right on Stiv. He is waiting for him to mess up. All right, and he grabs a Yoshi so that we can see a Yoshi clip in the next level. Hopefully he has a good run at that. Now with Rims, everyone else did the fireball. You're going to see him. He has to hit Ludwig 3 times. He's hoping for a cycle skip here. Or if you hit Ludwig in the air, as he just did, you're able to get that 3rd hit off without a hitch.
Yeah, that's a big time save as far as doing the fight normally goes. If you get that hit in the air, it saves you about, I want to say, about 15 seconds or so having to do the cycle again.
Mm-hmm. All right, and Stiv is going to go for his attempt at the Yoshi clip. If you haven't seen this before, this is a really cool... I mean, the run is dependent on this trick a lot of the time. There's times where you get it, and there's times where you will try half a dozen times. Stiv not quite getting the first attempt, going for a left side clip here, getting in, but kicked out.
Ooh.
This trick is very frame rule dependent. Even if you were to do everything right, there is a 25% chance of it kicking you out. Wow, he's having a lot of attempts while Milani just breezed through that Yoshi clip, taking the lead. This is the moment Milani was waiting for. He's not even going for that. He fell in while grabbing the block.
He got in finally and kicks Yoshi down in the block and is now coming behind Milani, who is now taking the lead.
He has a chance. Milani is going through the level as opposed to doing a true full clip like Stiv has right now, still staying under the level with that block.
Milani takes a hit from the woken up sleepy fish.
Looks like Barn Owl might be going for easy clip, which is a different type of clip that we're going to see him attempt right here.
Oh, we're going to be close on the tape here. We have Milani on a 210. We have Stiverson on 184. So Milani made a lot of time and just took the lead by a couple seconds there.
Yep, he is just barely in the lead. Barn Owl getting his easy clip and going through.
No, the clip was not nice to service him today. He had to do quite a few tries at that just to get in. Milani got it quickly. Made a huge difference
Now,
today.
let's see how Milani handles this going through no cape, trying to keep his lead up against Stiv. He's going to be going into Roy, so he's going to need to pick up a cape right here, I assume. Which he does. So he's deciding not to take Force Evolution 3 no cape.
Yeah, he had to go back, and that cost the time, so Service just took the lead again based on that. He's heading to the castle right now, Service is.
Yep, at the end of the day, I think Milani made the right decision, taking that cape when he could. Because he's going to need to pull off what Stiv is going for right here, which is Roy Flight. Another, it's a sketchy strat, to be completely honest. This dive bomb that he's about to do can lead to a lot of heartache.
Yeah, it's a very, very risky strat, and being able to pull that off can get you through very quickly.
All right, he's going to switch over to Flower as he enters.
Shoot, shoot, pop, done.
He is out of there.
263, great time.
All right, Milani falling a little bit, going into Chamber 2 of Roy Fly, having to retake flight. Barn Owl going significantly back. He's back on BB2.
Oh, wow.
He wants to take his cape from there. And that's going to allow Rems to come up and hopefully take this Roy Fly first. Oh, he's not. Oh, my goodness.
Hit the platform, and he's going to have to do this differently and takes the death.
Yep. That will happen, but Barn Owl, with the cape, still riding the train. So if Rems wants, he has one more attempt to go for Roy Fly. He's not going to take it. He's going to play it safe.
Barn Owl must not have felt confident with his attempt at that, and Rems missed on the second try to get it himself. So either that or as you said, he might just be playing it safe.
All right, and Stiv getting a good pipe fly. Milani's going to also have to hope for that pipe fly if he wants to maintain any sort of closeness throughout this Chocolate Island.
Barn Owl does stage 2 of the Cape Flight, just doesn't do it over the fire section, does it over the spike section. And Rems is doing that as well, leaves the block snake behind and just goes to the boss.
Yeah, and it's understandable why Barn Owl will do that, especially in a race format. Maybe it's something that's given him issue previously, and he would rather eat that time loss than eat a larger time loss from a potential death.
Mm-hmm.
Stiv making it through the spookiest of the ghost houses just fine.
Very, very nice.
Milani going for the spin fly through the ghost house. I'm going to see if he tries to ride the fishing Eyrie. Which, if he's still spinning, it looks like he's going to try just riding him throughout the level instead of flying above. Yep. One of the most terrifying strats I see people do.
Yeah, that's very, very scary. Now we're on a special level here because Chocolate Island 2 is, if you want to get the key to go to Chocolate Secret, it is time dependent. You have to wait for the clock to hit 250. Or be there within 250, I should say, in order to get into the secret area where the key is. These runners should have no problem doing that, though.
Yep, you gotta go fast. I do remember from yesterday watching Milani, he would grab a Yoshi in this level, which normally would be indicative of an all castles run because you want to take him to Valley of Bowser 2 for the wings. Milani, I feel, was maybe more comfortable with Yoshi strats. As we see him take a Yoshi again, he's going to use that without any sort of in-game in mind for that Yoshi, but it should help him through the next few levels. All right, and Barn Owl staying just in front of Rems. All right, looks like Barn Owl is also going for the riding the fishing Eyrie strat as well. But if you happen to fall, you're not moving down with the parachute. You are not invincible. You cannot damage boost. You are at the mercy of the fishing Eerie, and we see it happen as I say it.
Ooh.
He loses cape. Stiv showing off true skill, taking that room 3 with no cape like a champ. All right.
Stiv currently has no cape, so he is working on a fire flyer. He takes that hit. He's might have a hard time getting the power ups later here.
Yeah, we'll probably see him not even go for a cape until Sunken Ghost Ship. I assume at his level, he's probably comfortable with Windy, no cape. We're also going to see Rems take 3rd from Barn Owl. Not losing his cape in that ghost house. Wow, this Windy, no cape is something to behold. They're the scariest strats trying to get through those saws in the tunnel. There's very little room to move.
Yeah, those spikes can be scary in that level. You can actually just, I think they're considered as walls, so if you actually get stuck in the middle of the spike, you just get insta-killed as well. So if you make any miscalculation, you're back to the start of the level.
Oh yeah, and we saw a lot of that yesterday, and I'm sure we will see a lot of it today. Oof, showing off that no-cape strat. Great.
That's another room that I find really hard to do. Windy's Castle is just really difficult, technically, to complete.
If you have a cape, it can be made a lot easier if you know what you're doing, as hopefully we'll see Milani go through. It's a really cool-looking room.
The fireballs caused Stiverson to miss his 3rd goat, Wendy, and he missed the 2nd try at that as well, so it took 5 cycles to get Wendy. Finishes with the 207. Milani is coming.
Goodness,
Milani takes a death.
Oh, he got himself out of cycle, not getting enough P-speed for a flight, and had to do a strange backup, and it just did not work out for him. So we're going to see him as well, taking the no-cape route, as Stiverson is leaving the cutscene. Barnout and Rems neck and neck right now.
And it looks like Milani has to wait for a cycle for the block. Not going to be able to because he doesn't have the cape. Not be able to. He bonks.
Goodness.
Oh, he bonked off the block trying to jump up and took another death because he couldn't get the height. Oh my.
Yep, he's trying to play fast instead of safe, and it bit him once again. He's going to have to do this next room again. No cape. Stiv's got his cape back.
This is going to give Stiverson a comfortable lead on the restream 4 that we have. Very comfortable lead there as he's on the ghost ship. And looks like I think Milani took another death.
He did.
I think he's
sitting at that castle
right now. As he goes into 4th place on the restream, as the other 2 runners are going through the castle with the cape right now. Did he? Oh, it looks like he might have forfeit because I see.
I mean, that would make sense.
Yeah,
which isn't a bad thing to do because this is the qualifier rounds. These runners are not technically racing against each other. We're doing races all day for the next few days, trying to get 3 qualifier rounds for these runners so that they can be seeded for the tournament that's coming up. So it's probably smarter for Milani to go ahead and just get practice in until the next round.
Yeah, what's going to happen is Milani's going to just come back in another race to replace what would have been a very poor result from this one anyway, comparatively to his other runs, and try to get a better run for seeding purposes.
Exactly. He can come back in another race and get great times. Sometimes there's just a slip up, and Stiverson gets his orb.
Orb attained!
All right, we see Barnowl and Rems getting out of Windy. Rems taking a slight lead during Windy's castle. We'll see if he can keep that during Sunken Ghost Ship.
And Stiverson entering Valley of Bowser. Insert spooky laughter from a giant turtle here.
Oh,
loses the cape.
I didn't want to curse him.
The cape.
Yep, I did want to curse him by bringing up the jank hitboxes that you see with Monty Moles, but it wouldn't have mattered because we see Stiv lose his cape. He dumped his flower in SGA, in a Sunken Ghost ship, and so he wants to take this small only. It's going to help him make past that gap that he just recently went through. I don't think he's going to have any trouble sticking it small, to be honest. Rims and Barnow still staying right on each other. Alright, Stiv is entering Vob 2, no cape. Rim's taking some damage, still had a backup cape just in case.
Yeah, lost that first cape, but still had the other one, thankfully.
He needs that. He does need that cape normally to damage boost through the second boo ring. So he's gonna have to wait on that second boo ring. Unfortunately, it might give Barnow enough time to pull ahead.
And the first boo ring spawned as well, so he has to wait for the whole cycle here. That's going to be significant time, and yeah, Barnow's right through with both.
Barnow will take it. We'll see if he gets okay. Seeing if Stiv was going for any sort of sandbar. I think he's just gonna play this low and slow. He's having a great run so far.
Barnow takes the safety star in the middle, so he's just gonna sit down there.
And Rims does the same. Orb.
And Rems gets his orb. Meanwhile, Stiverson going through the squishy block chamber. And off to his key, and they were scary if you didn't get through there quickly.
And a good point to make on these Monty molds that I saw in chat is I believe it was Silver who posted a strat in the Discord that's a little safer, that's top route, so you don't have to deal with these Monty moles. And I think we might start seeing a lot of runners use it as these races continue, because we continue to see damages on these Monty moles. Alright, he's trying to get past those crushers. He takes damage on those spikes. I think normally that's where you'll see lots of people do a damage cancel with their cape.
Stiverson is taking this safely. He doesn't want to do anything too risky and risk any unnecessary deaths here, so he's being very careful.
Yes, this is a level you do not want to mess around in. He's going for this Reznor kill. He is small Mario. He doesn't want to risk anything. He is out. Oh,
very nicely done on the Reznor kill. Gets out of the level with a 230. So he is significantly ahead on the restream. Is in terms of the three of these runners, it is his race to lose. Obviously, we will see what happens on the rest of the race as well, as we do again have a number of runners in this race who are running this qualifier.
Yep, and Barnow and Rims losing a cape. Barnow did have a backup, so he could take the lead from Rims right now, as Rims had to go for that little secret backup cape. Stiv making his way through the dark room just fine. He's going to be fighting Bowser Small, which for a runner like him, that's no issue.
And both of our other runners are in the squishy block chamber now as well. And we have one of our... It looks like we have a runner...
Oh, they are so synced up right now.
It looks like we have a new runner joining us on the stream. Jumping Penguin has joined us on the restream, so we're going to see how he finishes this run as well.
Absolutely. He is leaving Wendy's Castle right now. Oh, the sync between Barnow and Rims is unreal. This far in a race. We've seen different mistakes from both of them throughout this entire run, and they are literally synced. So we're going to see who can do Vob Fortress better between the two. As Stiv enters phase 2, he is looking for a ball skip. Yep, okay. He's taking the safety shroom. We'll see if karma rewards him for his decision or not.
Barn Owl takes the run through the first set of spikes and gets through in one cycle. Rems waits for the second cycle, so he's a little bit behind right now. Barn Owl. Stiverson still has this in hand. Don't want to curse him, obviously, as he is beyond his PB time, having missed that clip back in Force of Illusion 2. But he is still in good position to possibly win this qualifier. We'll find out in a moment.
Ooh, Barn Owl losing his cape on one of the crushers. Rim still has his. Barn Owl takes the death
Oh,
at the second to last crusher. He takes a death.
ouch! That's going to give Rems a significant time gain in the runs in the on-stream run here. Jumpy Penguin,
And we're going for a last hit.
Jumpy Penguin, meanwhile, working through the ghost ship, takes a loss of his first power-up, first cape, and is now working on his second cape to get through. He did get the first boo chain did not spawn, the first boo circle, so he just wait for the second circle now.
And we have a GG for Stiverson, finishing with a 35-23 RTA.
Official SRL time 35:26 in the qualifier race room here.
Very nice. Did we have anyone finish before that in the race room?
Nope, he wins the qualifier.
Oh, wow. So
And Barn Owl
in
takes
the
a death on
Bowser fight.
Resnor. Ouch.
Ooh, 2 deaths at the end of the fortress. He needs to finish this run out. It is not treating him well. Rim's going for his cape kill right now, and we have an orb from Jumpy.
Orb collected.
Now, once again, these are just qualifier matches. These guys are, this is not a bracket tournament going on right now. They're getting qualifier rounds in under their belt so that they can be seeded for the tournament that's happening in the near future. So these runners still have as many races as they want to enter today.
Meanwhile, we have the princess screaming for help again for Rems, and he says, "No, thank you. I don't need that mushroom. I'm good. Keep that mushroom for yourself."
All right, and while we have a couple of seconds, this is a great time to remind everybody that the registrations for these are still open. If you are interested in playing this, if this is your thing, you like No Star World, you can use command SMW, and that's going to give you all the details about this No Star World Winter Tournament. It's going to give you access to the schedule, the Discord, and details about that $750 prize pool.
Rems, meanwhile, got the ball skip on Bowser fight, and thankfully,
yep.
good thing because he lost a Mecha Koopa there.
He did lose a Mecha Koopa, which isn't the worst.
Meanwhile, we do have another finish I need to report on. Dunkel Gotik came in second place with a time of 37:14, so congratulations to him for that time.
Yeah, GG. All right, and Barn Owl has made his way into the Bowser fight. We're gonna see Bowser's gonna bounce 8 times because he didn't bring that Mecha Koopa in to do a first hit on Bowser for this third phase.
And he just has to get a couple hits in here, and he's good for this run. Ooh, almost
that was
hit there, but
spooky.
dodges it, and that's the second hit, and that's the game for Rems. Get your GGs in chat for Rems. Finishing with an official SRL time of 38:10. And that's third place in this qualifier. And it looks like let's see where we are right now. Barn Owl is not far away. He's on the final fight. Jumping Penguin is in the Crushy Block segment. Meanwhile, we have a 4th place finisher. We have a finish from Classic James, 4th place, 38:26.
Man, Classic James has been killing it since he joined up. I hadn't seen him before this tournament, but his race has been pretty impressive. All right, looks like Barn Owl can't go for any sort of ball skip. Didn't have the Mecha Koopa. Instead, choosing to stand in the middle, keep Bowser corralled in the middle of the screen. He doesn't want one of those Mecha Koopas flying off to the left. Oh, and Stiv's saying that fire loss in SGS was accidental. I was wondering about that. That's what I was speculating on, whether or not that was you just weren't going to rely on that flower and trying to swag it out, or if it just fell from the item box and went under the wood. All right, we see Jumpy Penguin going into the room that has caused so many issues throughout this tournament so far. Trying not to get hit by the crushers, instead taking
Takes the
damage to the
spike.
spike.
Another problem found.
And a GG for Barnow.
Barnow finishing officially with a 39.50 in 5th place.
A Jumpy Penguin just has to make it through this room, through the Reznor, and he can go say hello to Bowser with the rest of everyone. He's gonna take damage here.
Oh, that's a death.
I knew it.
Death.
You
I could see it as soon as he
wait.
As soon as he jumped, I could see that was going to be a death. Ouch. Out he goes to find another cape.
If you hesitate for a second or you go too high on that jump, you will die. There is no question about it.
Oh, those crushers do not play around. They take no prisoners.
Never have, never will.
You hesitate, you're stuck.
All right, and while he finishes, we are getting the next room open up so that we continue on with this No Star World Winter Tournament here on Twitch TV/Speed Gaming.
Looks like Steverson will be playing the next race as well here, so we'll see if he stays on the stream or if we get a different runner, and we'll find out when that's set up here. But I do see Steverson Milani, of course, is in that race again as well. So some of the runners in this race are racing that next race as well, trying to get the fastest times they can for these qualifiers.
Absolutely, yep. And it seems also joining them in the race room is Silver Star, who put on phenomenal races the past couple days. I'm sure he will continue that today.
Okay, don't hesitate, Jumping Penguin. Just get through it. Well, that was a hesitation. Good thing you didn't go. Oh, made it. Made it.
I would much rather lose a cycle than lose my life in this level. That's for certain.
Agree.
Everyone always dies to that second to last crusher, and it's heartbreaking every time. Okay, and as he goes into Bowser, this would be a great time to remind everybody that we also command bets. And if you're a viewer outside of the US, you can go ahead and sign up with the promotional partnership with Vi.gg. You can place bets on all the matches in this tournament, including the qualifiers you're watching right now. And all these proceeds are going to go towards increasing the prize pool. And if you're a viewer outside of the US, you're eligible to sign up. You can get a free €20 bet.
And Bowser appears for Jumpy Penguin. We are now in the final fight on the restream for this race. And set up for the next race does continue. The next race scheduled to be in about 2 minutes, but we're probably going to wait for Jumpy Penguin to finish on the restream here, most likely, before doing that. And come the Met Koopas and Bop.
Now, interestingly, we didn't see any practice carts from any of the other three guys. They just let the credits play out. They took a break. Most of the time, whenever you see a little bit of time discrepancy between races like that, you'll immediately see a practice cart open up and people just grind out whatever practice they can in whatever time they have.
They know it's not a lot of time in the next race. I think they're just happy with the take of the pause here and just relaxing, maybe getting a little water. You know, you got to stay hydrated, ward off that bot, and try to just relax for the next race.
Jumpy getting a great ball skip. His Bowser is really good, honestly.
And he gets the Koopa Bop, and there's the second phase.
He's been getting great insta hits, great ball skips. For someone who's over 44 minutes currently in the run, his Bowser is great. The Bowser fight is something everyone should learn, everyone should get comfortable with. You're going to see it in most runs.
I want to note that we do have another finish to report. Dalcom X finished in 6th with a time of 43.51. And Looking at I can report now 7th place. We have Sonic F420 just finishing at a 44.19. And we just have a poof, and there's Jumpy Penguin finishing officially with a 44.27.
All right. Jumpy Penguin is going to go ahead and round out the Restream runners, finishing up.
We still have one runner actually playing in the race. I don't know if that runner is coming in for the qualifier following this or not, but there's one runner remaining in the race who is still racing. And we're going to move on to the second qualifier, I believe, any moment here. So looking at the race room, I do see right now there are 9 people. It looks like are entered in there. Jumpy Penguin actually did join the next qualifier as well, so he's in there as well.
Yes.
I see Mike the Ponester. I see Mystikin in there, and you mentioned Silver Star in there as well. Yolschi 112 is in there. Classic James. So a lot of runners in this race that you can observe on their own streams. We're going to get 4 of them on here and talk about them as well, just like this last run.
Yep, and we're going to be setting up for this next race. This next race has a lot of great runners in it, so hopefully we're going to see some great runs come out of them. And even if they're not great runs, maybe we'll see some entertaining mess ups. This has been a great tournament so far. Everyone's been just giving it their best. I think we're going to see some crazy times start hitting as this tournament goes further. And
so we're bringing the runners in right now. We do have Stiverson and Milani back. They're going to be on the right side of our screen this time. Silver Star is joining us on the top right. It will be the top left once it flashes into place, and we have Classic James joining us on the lower left. So a couple of different runners to watch here. A couple we've seen in the last run that were very, very close throughout the first run until that unfortunate problem in Wendy's Castle from Milani took him out of the race, and he gave up that race. Stiverson did finish first on our last restream, so we're going to see him go up against Milani again, and of course Silver Star and Classic James on this coming race. This should be very exciting.
Absolutely. It'll be great to see Silver Star versus these guys too. He is by far a top tier runner. He's going to make this very interesting, and I know he's not going to get hit by a Monty Mole.
No one ever gets hit by a Monty Mole. They're easy.
Of course not. Maybe he can show off that safer strat he's been telling everyone about, and he can save a lot of countless deaths.
And it looks like Silver Star is doing some practice right now on the Bowser fight, doing the ball skip on there.
Yeah, that was a little early of a ball skip. He wasn't going to get it for that attempt. You definitely have to make sure Bowser has stopped moving and is technically in a ball drop animation, even though he is not moving at the time you hit him. And once again, if you want to enter this race, registrations are still open. These runners are going to be doing qualifier matches that we are having 6 a day for the next few days. They need to do a minimum of 3, and we're going to take the average of those 3 of their top 3 times, and that will help seed the tournament and find out where they will be placed on the bracket.
It looks like Classic James is still practicing that ball skip. That's Classic James in the upper left, by the way this is set up for the setup screen. That right now, that's Silver Star on the lower left, Stiverson on the lower right, and Milani in the upper right. They will flip around when the restream kicks in and we go to the main layout.
Mm-hmm. And while we had races today and yesterday during the daytime, if this isn't a time zone that you're doing races, you want something, that's a little bit of a different time zone, we will be back tonight at 3 a.m. Eastern, midnight Pacific, doing another 6 races all throughout the night in America time. And I think we're going to see a lot of different people join up for that one. I know there's a lot of people who have been waiting for that time zone slot to open up. So the Speed Gaming channel is doing everything they can to make sure everyone can get qualified. right, and it looks like these guys are starting to get ready. We're very close to kicking off race 2 of day 3.
The runners are getting ready up in the stream right now. We just have, I think, one runner waiting ready up here, and the field has grown. Barn Owl has joined the race. Delcom X is in there. Venom Play is in there. So Rems is back in there. So a lot of runners are coming into that race now. This is a much more populated race than the previous one. I'm just doing a countdown the list right now. I see 13 people listed entered in this race, it looks like.
Yeah. Not only that, everyone who joined this race as opposed to the last one are by far top tier runners. I would be very surprised if Stiverson's 35 could take first place again in this race. Fortunately, he's all practiced up. He got his warm out run out of the way, and I think we'll see an even better run from him as well.
Okay, so everyone is right up in SRL. The race is getting underway. We're going to see it in just a moment here when the restream catches up. So let's see how this run goes for these 4 runners as they are about to start race number 2, or qualifier race number 2 of 6 qualifiers today in this cycle.
Yep, and good luck to all the runners. It's always a tense moment when you see everyone hit the title screen because you know it's about to go down.
You know they're